I wrote these two poems about Veterans Day. Well, actually, I wrote the other one earlier this week, but the second one I wrote yesterday about Veterans Day. But I felt that the first could be shared as well because it's called Strength, and veterans are incredibly strong. So thank you for your service, but first is strength. When I was little, I wanted to be strong, just like Wonder Woman, and tag along with all the superheroes to help save the day. Until I learned that superheroes weren't real, and then I had to find a way to understand strength with more realistic examples. So like those tiny pink spoons they give you at Baskin-Robbins, I took a sample of every non-superhero act of strength I could find. And at the time, all that really came to mind were WWE wrestlers and those karate guys who break wooden boards with their heads. So of course, little old me would sit in her bed and think, if I'm not like them, does that make me weak? And yeah, I was a crazy kid. So back then it was adorable and sweet, but the word weak would later eat at me like termites feeding off my self-esteem. Until not recognizing myself in the mirror became a part of my daily routine. I felt small. And not just because I haven't grown since the 6th grade, but because suddenly I was afraid to talk to people, as if scared of the sound of my own voice. I would hide in the background because if given a choice, who would pick me? And it would take a while, but eventually I would see that strength doesn't have to be loud. It doesn't have to have a huge movie score in the background. It doesn't have to mean attacking others with your claws, and it doesn't require an audience's applause. Sometimes strength is just picking yourself back up after you've had a bad day, gaining the nerve to say exactly what it is you need to say. It's knowing that it's okay if you fall and that you won't miss out on any of the fun, because there's always Band-Aids waiting, and maybe next time you won't need one. Strength is getting an injection of courage that will last just long enough to say a poem in front of a crowd. I believe that strength is in all of us, but for it to start working, you have to tell it it's allowed.
Woo!
Thank you. And this one's called Veteran. What is a veteran? A veteran is someone who has served in the military. That means that there's someone who has voluntarily decided to put their life at risk to save yours. And that alone is amazing to me, but I also think there are many more ways to describe the kind of people that veterans are. Veterans are people who can really appreciate a twinkling star because they know it looks exactly the same from a car window in Clarksville as it did in the desert. They're people who know that carrying the weight of the world on your shoulders isn't something that can be measured. But it doesn't change the fact that at the end of the day, the freedom of an entire nation is being supported by their shoulders. And sometimes a letter or a Skype call just aren't enough when your daughter is 1,000,000 miles away and you want nothing more than to hold her. Veterans are strong, not only physically, but mentally. They know that we all get a choice in this life and that nothing happens accidentally. Veterans are people who go through life with their hands up, not to surrender, but because life is a roller coaster and they're going to enjoy the ride. Veterans know more about loss and sacrifice than they're willing to say. There's a man in Texas and a woman in Arkansas who are going to miss their daughter's birthday so that I have the freedom to go out and get ice cream on mine. Talking to veterans is like traveling through time. I can go from Korea to Vietnam to Afghanistan in just the span of 3 conversations. And there's no amount of praise that could act as compensation for everything they've done. I don't know about you, but when I know that danger is straight ahead, that's not the direction I'm going to run in. Veterans are like the parents of a newborn child, looking over them in awe and with their hearts full. Because that is our America, our beautiful creation given to us by God, and my gosh, isn't she beautiful? So the next time you see a veteran, remember that you're also looking at a teacher. Someone who is skilled in bravery and valor and compassion and has a deeper understanding of everything it takes to make it possible for you and me to do the things we do. To all the veterans out there, on behalf of all of us, I say thank you.